Talk to me about your faith, because I see lately a lot of your posts, maybe in the last 6 months or a year, on a Sunday, you'll talk about church, or you reference God. Not a lot of people that are big, that are popular will go there because they think, oh, it might alienate people. One thing I find interesting about the Trump victory is that there's a lot more people talking about faith and seem more comfortable talking about faith. But is that something that's always been important to you? Has that come in the last few years? And why do you talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, I started talking about it before that Trump thing happened, also the assassination attempt and these kind of things. I was faithful for my whole life, but as I said, there's a journey. There was ups and downs, sometimes where I was more connected, sometimes where I was less connected. But overall, I think I am working on getting more and more connected towards that. And at one point, I just decided, well, it helped me so much. Right, I want people to and even if some people drop off, don't watch my content anymore, I can just hope for them they will come back. But for those I can help with it, I think that's definitely worth the sacrifice. And if I'm thinking back a few years ago when I was facing these health problems, like I was witnessing wonders myself just by praying and just by laying down, closing the eyes. I was without God, it would not be possible to beat that. And I think with God, everything is possible. I want people to understand those people who don't understand, and hopefully see faith in the world increasing in the future, because we see evil getting stronger and stronger. I think within the last 1-2 years, I see the good getting stronger again also. So I'm very hopeful, and I want to be one force supporting that counterpart to the evil.
I appreciate you talking about it. And I know it's not easy, and I know you're going to alienate people. And when I saw you doing it, I was like, I like that, because it's
now
real.
We do it towards the end. So if they drop off, it will not decrease the watch time so much.
No, I like to talk about everything. It's interesting because religion, when I grew up, as a kid, my mom had to drag me to church. And I think this is in the 70s and 80s. And I think people were starting to push back on religion and say, what's it for? And this doesn't make sense. And this is a bunch of weird old stories in a book that didn't happen. And that's the way I kind of looked at religion. But as now I got older, Chris, I look at religion as technology, as intellectual property that humans built over thousands of years, maybe tens of thousands of years before that, in maybe pagan rituals or things that they did, and they built it up into what I see as tech. It's like an IP layer that makes humans show up as better humans. Protocols. And if you look at a lot of religions, there's fasting, right? There's they would go from the pilgrimage, right? They would give to the poor. They would do all these things and maybe prayer is a form of meditation somehow, or a form of gratitude. They did all these things that made them better people. And it was in the guise of a religion, many different religions. Mm-hmm. And now when I look at it as that, I'm like, wow, well, the humans came up with this. It probably is because it works to a certain extent. And now I'm looking in my life where it makes more sense. And I just find religious phrases and stories and making more sense to me.
Yeah.
And I've had Dr. Jordan Peterson on my show. And when he talks about the stories of the Bible, he's like, this is technology. There's a story that's telling you something. The reasons it's in there is because it's teaching you a lesson that'll make you a better person. And so he's like, you don't have to take these stories literally. They're not literal. You don't have to believe that Jesus walked on water or he turned water into wine, or you can. But the story there is somehow teaching you to be a better person. And by being a better person, you're going to live a better life. So I'm definitely paying more attention.
There wouldn't be any murder, any stealing, any lying in the world if everyone would follow the teachings of Jesus now, for example, right? So I think you can't find any bad in those teachings. And that alone, now, if you're watching this and you believe or not, that alone is already a nice thing to realize.
It's interesting, in America, they talk about the Constitution as being this great document and this concept of freedom of speech and democracy. But some other people have come back and said, if you think about it, the Constitution of America is like a layer 2, and it only functions if you have a layer 1 of morality and religion. And without that layer, it actually falls through.
Yeah.
Because if everybody shows up and is just like, I don't care, I have no morality, then that's not going to work. And so it's interesting for people to note out that it's only functional when it's built on some type of a standard moral code, which in America's case was Christianity.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, your family, but also for the generations to come after? And the best way to do that is through early stage investments. You layer in emerging technologies like we are in today, whether that be Web3, whether that be blockchain, whether that be metaverse or AI, the gains can be exponential. The community that we have built through the investment club is worth its weight in entry point alone. Which companies will be the next Facebooks, Googles, and Amazons of this industry? We get to be a part of, set the direction, aid, support, and create a much bigger impact worldwide through our investments. I hope to see you in this investment club. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your family's life. And it's going to change the generations to come. See you in the investment club.